online at bigdumbfunshow.com, .net, .org, .biz, .info. That's right. We're online, and you can find us, Big Dumb Fun Show. Google it. It's right there in your browser. Click on that link. It'll take you right over, and you can watch us Mondays, 7 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, and the rest of the week, hey, bitches, watch it in replay.
That's not nice to call our listeners bitches, by the way. Hey, we got a couple of dumb bitches in the chat room right now. Travis, DJ106TW, welcome back. Ross McGinnis making an appearance in the chat room as well. Welcome, boys. Always glad to have you in there. Our live chat, you can pull up BigDumbFuncher.com and all of that crap. Have you heard the big news, the big story this week? Not Alec Baldwin.
Being kicked off a plane?
Not that.
Not that?
You've heard of that.
I heard he was on Saturday Night Live dressed as an American airline pilot.
Yeah, but not that.
Do you think he took an American airline flight from L.A. back to New York?
I wouldn't.
I think that'd been hilarious. Like he's dressed in the captain's gear. Oh, it's for a sketch.
And what's funny is that the impression he used was totally Dr. Phil. Like it was like a dead-on Dr. Phil. Thank you, Seth. So, but no, the big news, at least I think is the big news, is Mr. Sulu.
Oh, I thought you were going to say wordplay.
No, not wordplay. Words with Friends.
Or Words with Friends.
The app that got Alec Baldwin kicked off the airline, which is
that's
a huge deal.
That's got to be, you know what? They probably
great press for them.
They could not have paid for that kind of publicity.
They couldn't have. Well, they could.
Well, they probably did, actually.
But
Alex, just...
If you could just...
take that check. When you get on the flight, tell them you're not turning your phone off because you're playing Word with Friends.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the deal. Speaking of nothing related whatsoever, George Takei, Mr. Sulu, came out, said he was gay. Huge surprise to everybody.
This week, or was that like 10 years ago?
This was years ago. But the thing was, he came out, because there's been this feud. You know, Trekkies, Star Wars and Star Trek fans have always had that underlying feud, which one's better, blah blah blah. A lot of times George Lucas will be accused of lifting some ideas from Gene Roddenberry, and then the rumors that they hated each other, loved each other, whatever. That's not the issue. But the issue is that now there's like an online social media thing where it's like a Trek fan, Star Wars fan, I'm a Trekkie, I'm a Warsy, the Star Trek, Star Wars, back and forth, blah, blah, blah. It's all in jest, I think.
I mean, it's one site?
Nobody's getting killed.
And what? And George Takei is behind it, so to speak?
No, he's not behind it, but he
but he'd
came
like
out.
to be.
Absolutely. We take monorails very seriously. He came out, and he's basically saying, hey, guys, let's fight the real enemy. Let's get together and fight the real enemy.
What does he mean by that?
Twilight.
Straight? I thought you meant he was going to say straight people.
Let's fight the straights. George Takei, the film and television actor best known as Mr. Sulu from Star Trek, currently a social media impresario, and now the self-appointed broker of Star Peace, has done the unthinkable, smacking down Twilight. He's saying everyone needs to get back
to the real.
Get back to the real and really just fight off Twilight. Let's you guys are bickering back and forth. Fight the real enemy, which is Twilight.
You mean it's not Klingons anymore?
It's not. No, that should be the slogan. It's not Klingons anymore. It's Twilight. He had a video of there.
He has a problem with vampires and werewolves.
You should.
You know what he really has a problem with?
Yeah.
Not working.
That's what he really has a problem with.
Yeah.
He says, what say you, twihards? That's basically the Twilight fan is twihards.
Twihards?
Like diehard Twilight fans?
Uh-huh.
Twihards.
What does that make diehard fans?
Diehard fans.
Oh, okay.
So he released this video. We won't go into the old video, but what you need to know is in his attempt to end the ridiculous Star Wars versus Star Trek feud that William Shatner and Carrie Fisher have been escalating. All right, so Shatner and it should be known, Shatner and Fisher also getting in on the Twitter and really escalating this I guess what could be best known as like a
Star Trek. You know what?
a fake feud out there.
The feud never sucks Battlestar Galactica up.
No, because I think everyone just dropped in like a bad or Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Because Doctor Who, I think that's a Doctor Who nerds that's another level of nerd. Like if someone's like, I didn't really get into Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica, but I was a big Doctor Who fan. Me and my dad watched Doctor Who. Oh my God, there is a special place it's
called British TV
in nerd heaven. If you were a Doctor Who fan, but more and more you get these Doctor Who references with the phone booth and everything, and I don't know. Anyway, in an attempt to end the ridiculous feud, George Takei takes to the social media airwaves, if you will, and tries to broker a peace deal. By the way, the fact this is happening totally makes you ignore that we're at war right now. That we're like people are dying, the economy sucks. We got to get this thing solved. Star Trek versus Star Wars.
You guys got to come together here. There's bigger issues like Twilight or Harry Potter.
He pleads for star peace, stating that the new ominous threat to science fiction is actually Twilight. He says, gone is any sense of heroism, camaraderie, or epic battles. In its place, we have vampires that sparkle, moan, and go to high school. Now, I'm not above mixing in a little sex appeal to spice up the fantasy. But sci-fi fans, be warned, there are no great stories, characters, or profound life lessons that can be found in Twilight. No, in Twilight, the only message that rings through loud and clear is, does my boyfriend like me?
That's not important to George Takei?
I'm sure that's important to George Takei.
Maybe he's got a life partner that he's been around with so long, he doesn't worry about those things.
So let's take this.
Because relationships are important, too.
I believe this is all supposed to be...
There's some life lessons to be learned from Twilight, like don't spend $8 to go see the movie.
That is a good life lesson. Read the book, and then don't complain on how the movie ends, because you read the damn book. So, if you were to take, and the media is really good at doing this, and so we'll follow suit. If you take George Takei's words, and you really take them seriously, and you start thinking about them, do you think that's true at all? Do you think that the lessons learned from Star Wars and Star Trek about teamwork, camaraderie,
the Force,
take the science fiction crap out of it and just take the storylines? Do you think that Star Trek and Star Wars was more of a powerful story?
Because it had a message?
And did you think that it had a more powerful message than Twilight? What do you think? I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts. info@bigdumfunction.com. Chime in the chat room or the Twitter or any of that crap.
Is there anybody out there? Can